Have you tried the new Notion calendar? It's one of the most exciting new features from Notion that they have released so far. It basically allows you to combine your Google Calendar and Notion database calendars all in one. In this video, we wanted to do a deep dive into Notion's calendar and show you everything you need to know to master this new app and use it to its full potential. If you find this useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. In 2022, Notion acquired a calendar app called Cron, and since then it seems that they had been working together, and now Cron has become Notion Calendar. So in Notion Calendar, you are able to see all of your database calendars and your Google Calendar all in the same space. And that's what makes it so powerful. So if you tend to schedule things on Notion, but you also schedule things on Google, you are able to simultaneously see both of these at the same time. So if you're interested in downloading this, all you have to do is go to notion.so/product/calendar, which we'll leave in the link below. And you can basically just download the desktop app if you're a Mac or Windows user, as well as if you are an Apple user for the mobile app. And people have been talking about how there is no Android yet, and we're sure that that will be coming soon as well. So once you have that downloaded, you'll be able to open it up and it looks something like this. So you have your monthly small view on the left-hand side. You can see all of your calendars here on this side. And then basically you can show this calendar in day, week, month, and so on, and with a whole bunch of settings, which we'll cover later. So that's the basic overview of Notion's calendar. So the first thing we wanted to show you is how exactly to connect your Notion to Notion Calendar. So all you have to do is go to your settings from Notion Calendar, and you can go to Integrations Notion. And here you can check all of your Notion workspace settings regarding to Notion Calendar. So as you can see, we've already connected the Organized Notebook workspace, which means that we can access all of our database calendars. So you just really need to click the Connect button and connect your workspace here to start. Once you have that connected, then you can actually go to the left-hand sidebar and you can do plus add Notion database. And then when you go here, you can search for all of your calendar view databases that you have already in your Notion workspace and choose any of them, and they will all show up here. So let's just say that we want to create a new calendar in Notion and have it show up in Notion Calendar. So if we go to an empty page and we name this Notion Calendar, and we choose calendar view, and you can also choose timeline view if you want to see this in your calendar, but we're going to go ahead with calendar view. And one tip we also wanted to mention is that if you have a linked view database, this calendar is not going to show up, so you have to make sure that the calendar view exists in the main database. So that's the only way you can see it show up. So now if we, for example, let's just add some sample items here so that we can see it later. So let's say we have event 1, event 2, and now we just want to see this Notion calendar in our Notion calendar. So now if we go to plus add Notion database, we should be able to find Notion calendar as one of them. And we found Notion calendar. And now once we add that, you'll see all the events that we've already pre-added here. So it's working exactly how we intended. So the other option, if you want to show a calendar, is to just simply press the button inside of your Notion workspace. So let's go ahead and remove this one. Remove calendar from list. And if we go back to this Notion page, we can just simply click open in calendar and the same thing happens. So we can see here event 1, event 2. So everything shows up as we want it to. So the other thing we wanted to show is if you want to show filtered views. So right now we're showing basically everything that's in this database, but often you want to filter your views. So let's say that this is going to be your full calendar, but you also want to separate your calendars into personal and work. So then we could just simply add tag here. So this is going to be personal, and this is going to be a work event. So now we can go to the three dots here and show the property so we can clearly see what's happening. And duplicate these tabs. So we're going to duplicate. This is going to be called personal calendar. And we're going to duplicate it again. And this is going to be called work calendar. So if you have multiple database views, all you really need to do is to go to the filter, and we're going to go to tags, and this one's going to show personal, save for everyone. And the work calendar, filter, tags, and this one is going to be save for everyone. So now we have personal and work calendar. So now what we can do is simply click open in calendar for personal calendar. And as you can see, it is basically layered. So if we hide this main calendar here, which you can see is the calendar view, so it's the original one, but here we can see it's personal calendar. So now we see our personal event here. And then if we want to show the other view, we could go to this work calendar tab and open in calendar. And now we see this event here, event 2, event 1. So if we hide both of them and turn on the Notion calendar, we see both events. If we turn on both other ones and hide the Notion calendar, we see them as different calendars. So there's many ways to use this, but if you want to see filtered views, that's also very possible. And this is how we would go about doing it. The only downside is that right now you can't really change the name here. So you have to read below to see the actual name that you've given it with the filter name. So the next thing we want to show is how to connect your Google Calendar to Notion Calendar. So to connect your Google Calendar to Notion Calendar, you can again go to the settings here, and then we can go to calendars. And here you can add your Google Calendar accounts and connect them. So it's very easy as well. And we've already connected our email here as well. So now we can see our Google Calendar. Basically, it just works the same as you would use your Google Calendar. It's going to show up here, and you can show multiple calendars by sort of showing this, toggling it on and off, and so on. So it's very intuitive in that sense as well. And with Google Calendar items, if you want to add an event, for example, it's going to give you a lot of those Google Calendar perks. So for example, you can set repeats, participants, conferencing locations, and so on. So it gives you all of the Google Calendar options here. However, if it's a Notion calendar event, you only see a very basic view. And we think that this is probably something that they will fix in the future. But you can open it in Notion with the click of a button where you'll see everything you need to know about this event. So in that way, it's also quite useful. So if you want to add an event to your calendar from Notion, you can simply do that by adding it into your database like this. So let's say that this is a live event planning session and the tag is work. Then we can see this already in our full calendar if we go to Notion calendar and we turn on the full calendar. So now we see live event planning session here. Alternatively, if you have this one selected, if you see like this, the round circle around it, you can simply add a new event by typing either C like this, or you can also simply drag. So if we just drag our cursor like this, you can just add an event and then new event. And if you add through the Notion calendar app, this is also going to be shown in Notion. So we can simply open it here and we already see the event. So it's basically seamlessly connected, which makes it very useful. So if you want to add a event through your Google Calendar, all you have to do is the same thing. You can just simply drag and name the event like this and fill in all the other details. So this is also very similar to how it works in Notion. The next thing we wanted to go over is how to add Notion pages to your Google Calendar events. So primarily the conferencing and these kinds of things are going to be done through your Google Calendar. So you can easily add links here for conferencing, location, and so on. And one of the best features is that you can go to the docs and links and you can either create a Notion page or simply add it. So let's say that we wanted to add our live event planning session that we just created here. Then we can simply add it like this, and it's very simple to use. Alternatively, if you wanted to just create a new page for this, you could just create and just name it meeting notes. And you can choose the location, you can choose the workspace and create a page. So this is very intuitive to use as well if you want to attach pages to your events. Next, we wanted to go over how to set up your menu bar. So the menu bar is really useful because you can easily see your events directly from your top bar. So if we click here, you'll see all day we have event 1, all day live event planning session, Wednesday, February 7th. So you can see a huge list of everything you need to do through this menu bar. So even if your Notion app is closed, you can still easily see it. So then if we go to Notion Calendar, go to settings, you can now set up the menu bar. So you can enable or not enable the menu bar calendar by toggling this on and off. You can choose how many days of events you want to see in the menu bar. You can also toggle all day events, events without participants, events without conferencing, and so on. You can also preview upcoming event and menu bar 12 hours before event and so on. And then there's system-wide keyboard shortcuts you can use in order to show and hide the menu bar calendar. So all of these we recommend you to set up so that you can really use this menu bar feature and see all of your events all the time at the top of your bar. So next we wanted to go over some useful keyboard shortcuts. So if you type the question mark by typing Shift/ or whatever you need to do in order to get a question mark, then you'll see a whole list of keyboard shortcuts. And this is something that's really strong with Notion Calendar. So the more you learn how to use it, you'll be really quick to really add what you need to do and so on. And out of all of these, one of our favorites is this Command K or Control K, depending on if you're using Windows. And what that does is basically you can see all of these commands and you can just search through them. So, and they also have the keyboard shortcut on the right hand side, so you can really learn how to use it as you're searching for them. So the more you use something, so if you use share availabilities all the time, you'll start to learn that you can simply type S. So this is the main thing you should really remember is this Command K so that you can pull that up. And we also really like to toggle between the different views. So for example, this is in month view, but you can easily switch to week view by clicking W. You can easily switch to day view by clicking D. So there's a lot of these things that you can learn, and we highly recommend you to look into that. The next feature we really love about Notion Calendar is the time zone. So if you are working with people from around the world, you really need to know exactly what time a meeting is for everyone. So in that case, it's really useful if you enable the time zone. And in this case, for time zones, you can only see them with week view or with day view. So if we have week view, and we click the plus sign, you can easily add a time zone. So let's say that we're working with someone in Pacific time zone in LA. So then you can see easily that the PST time here, and then you can see the EST time here. And you can add as many of these as you want. So this is really useful if you are working across a wide range of time zones. So you know everyone's schedule and it's easier to plan meetings and so on. So another feature that we really love in Notion Calendar is the blocking feature that you can do. So if you're in a Google Calendar, you can simply click on that calendar and go to event blocking on calendar. And here you can choose your team calendar, your Notion calendars, and choose which ones that should block the event. So if we choose team calendar, then you can see block all events on team calendar. you can choose to show only busy or include all event details for others to see. So basically, if you don't want any of your details to show up, you can just block it as show as busy, and it's going to show those events as busy on the other calendar. So this is really useful. And unfortunately, through the Notion calendar, you cannot do the same sort of block thing here. But through all of your Google calendars, you can add that. And you can also block the events which are on your Notion calendar in your Notion database as busy on your Google calendar. So in that way, it's definitely enough feature to truly block those events on important calendars. The other way that you can block events on other calendars is by simply going to the event that you want to block on another calendar and click Control click, and then you can choose block on calendar. And for example, we can block it on team calendar and only this event and show as busy. So once you do that, if we hide this original calendar, you'll see in team calendar that you're busy on this day. So this is a great way to not show exactly what you're doing at the time, but just show your availability very easily. The next very exciting feature is that you can share your availability as a link. So if we go to week view, we're going to click W. And let's say that we want to share availability. This is the button for share availability. You can also just click S. And then you have this place where you can start marking your available time. So let's say that you're free after 5 for a few hours. And you're also free here and here and here. So you can send this availability over to someone by simply creating this like this, and you can choose how many minutes, you can choose a conferencing platform, and so on. So these are basically times you have on hold, and then you can just click create. And now you'll see all of these times that you've put on hold, and you've also copied this link. So it kind of works like Calendly. So it's very easy to use if you're trying to look for a central time to meet someone. So if we go ahead and simply put in this link, then we can see what it looks like. So it would look something like this. You'll see the organizer, and you can see all of these available times on each of the days that you've marked. So it's a very easy way to schedule meetings. So the next thing we wanted to show you is some customization options. So if you want to showcase an icon, for example, through your Notion calendar, you can easily do so. Say that we're in Notion and we want to add a icon here. You can easily do that. Let's say we wanted a pin marker like this. So once you change the icon here, it's going to also show up in your calendar. So now you can see the pin marker here. So if you want, you could color coordinate this as well. So now if we wanted to add all of these events in a different color, you could do Control click and change it to green, for example. So that concludes our deep dive into Notion's calendar. We're so excited to see where Notion is going to take this even further. And let us know if you've already tried Notion Calendar. What are your thoughts on it? Will you be using it? And let us know if you have any questions, comments, or anything that was confusing in this video. And we hope to see you in the next one.